And welcome, iiRcade fans. I'm Colin Trethewey, joined by Jong Shin, the founder and CEO of iiRcade. And Jong, we are just 4 days away from the big moment, the launch of the Kickstarter campaign. Jong, how are you feeling just a couple of days out here?
Oh, good. Nervous. Very excited.
Yeah, definitely.
The day has finally come.
Absolutely. And today we're going to do a quick review of all of the announcements that have been made. We're just going to jump through some of the previous announcements that Jong has made just to update people, and maybe we have some new viewers and new followers. And welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. We've got Mark Levant on here, Wayne Jeffrey, Jeff Rainwater, and Chris is on board here as well. And what we'll do is just a quick review, and I'm going to Jong's waving at our John Adams joining in.
Hello, my friends. How are
Thanks,
you?
Guys.
Nice to see you guys.
All right, here we go. So, Jong, let's jump right into this.
Sure.
The first thing that we want to talk about, of course, is what's happening on Tuesday. And Jong, here are the dates again. So Tuesday, which is June 23rd, coming up in a few days here, 11 a.m. ET, 10 a.m. Central Time where Jong is in the Chicago area, and 8 a.m. on the West Coast. And also, Jong, Facebook Live family, do you want to comment on that?
Sure, absolutely. So iiRcade rocks. This link is for our Facebook Live family only. This is for communication between you and me. So if you can, if you haven't signed up yet, if you can sign up, I'll be sending you some information, quote unquote. Hint, hint, wink, wink. So
very good. Yeah, highly recommended. Highly recommended.
Yeah, the link itself, I may close it very soon. So if you can go ahead and sign up before that, that'll be fantastic.
Excellent, Jong. And coming up today, we've got a surprise. Well, not really a surprise, but we'll just let you know in advance here. We're gonna show you some video that's been created over many weeks of preparation, and it's a preview video of the main Kickstarter video. So please stay tuned for that. And before we get to that, Jong is just going to run through with a quick recap of a lot of the announcements that have been made so that you're up to date. Jong, I'll step aside here so that people can see the full screen. Talk to you in a second, okay?
Sounds good. Okay, everybody, we'll just go through real quickly on what we went over last Tuesday so that we have a recap. If we can go to the next slide. So the specification perspective, we made some new announcements. For example, support for Bluetooth and wireless headset. HDMI out, and also increased our audio power to 100 watts, especially with great power amplifier. We stated that our device is made in Korea, in a factory that has over 30 years of experiences creating only the premium arcade devices. Next slide, please. Pre-launch game list. Again, the list that we are going to be posting today after this session. It will have our current, quote-unquote, list of games that we have. And these are all pre-launch games. And we are continuously working to get new games as well. In fact, just a few days ago, we got 2 more. Those 2 are not in this list, by the way, but I'll be showing them to you very soon. Very soon. And these are very cool games. And then for our launch, we're targeting 200 games, 200 plus games, and then the list will continuously become bigger because we'll be continuously licensing new games. So stay tuned for that. Next slide, please. Game pricing perspective. So based on all the current information that we have, we saw that the starting price for our games will be at $2.99. $2.99, not $299. It's a little joke. And most of our games will be priced at $4.99 and between $4.99 and $14.99. And even though we don't know what's going to come in the future, this is what we see right now with our gaming. This is where we want to place most of our games pricing at. That's what we went over that last time. Next slide, please. Dragon's Lair, yes. We announced this last Tuesday. Dragon's Lair 1, Dragon's Lair 2, Space Ace. I am extremely excited about. So you can see my voice changing when this came up. So we announced this last time. If we go to the next slide, we also announced that we're preloading our Dragon's Lair. along with 9 other games that includes Double Dragon and Beach Buggy Racing that we saw last time, and Gumbird and several other games, total in 10 games that will be preloaded. Next slide, please. Social media. I want to send you a huge thank you here because huge thanks to you. We finally got past 6,000 members in our private community page. And email signups, we have over 17,000, which from my experience perspective, I think it's like 6 times the normal. So I'm very thankful for everybody here. We couldn't have done this without you. And also referral page, last time I checked, we were at over 3,200 people who signed up to do referrals. So I want to give you a huge thank you so much again here. Couldn't have done it without you, and it's all because of you that we were able to get here. So thank you so much for that. Now, one thing that I want to mention is that more people who signs up, it makes it so much easier for us to be able to get more games. So this is where these numbers matter so much to me, because these numbers will impact us. We can go to our big companies and say, hey, look at who we have here. We're doing really well. Company, give us your games. So this is one of the big reasons why this number matters so much. And this was all possible because of you. And I want to say thank you. And we would also appreciate your continued help and support on here as well. Let's bring all those games, awesome, amazing games that we love, to iiRcade together. So
yeah, and Jong, those sign up numbers, like you said, those are really impressive for a pre-Kickstarter campaign. A lot of campaigns will start with just the high hundreds or low thousands. So there's a lot of interest in this product before it's even launched, which is quite impressive relative to past campaigns that I've worked on.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad to hear that. Appreciate it. Yeah,
and this is important too, Jong.
Yes, absolutely. And leading to that referral page, if you can help us with referrals so that we can continue to grow our community. And again, this growth of community will really, really help us to talk to the game companies with the games that we love. So if you can help us here, we would really appreciate it. And of course, we'll also do our due diligence as well to continue to grow, so that we can go to these companies and say, give us your games.
And you can see that referral code in the comments there. So please copy and paste that or take a screenshot. It was just posted by the official iiRcade Facebook account, so easier to find it that way, or take a screenshot.
So thank you so much again, everybody.
And Jong, the first announcement today, of course, was that June 23rd date, the launch of Kickstarter. And we want to just take a couple of minutes to give just the basics. I'm sure a lot of the followers and iiRcade fans are familiar with crowdfunding sites like Kickstarter and may have been on them before, but we just want to go through just the basics. So Jong, while I just queue up the Kickstarter page, do you want to just tell us about Kickstarter from your perspective and why it's a good platform for launching a game like iiRcade?
Sure, absolutely. It's typically a platform that enables you to, let's say, one of the starting companies has a product, and they're looking for funds to be able to start manufacturing so that they can get the products out there. Basically, it's just like how what the name says, right? It's a platform that enables you to kickstart. Now, we are utilizing Kickstarter platform in a completely different way, because I also let you know that we're extremely well funded we're backed by very strong VCs. So from financial perspective, we're fine. There are 2 reasons why we are doing Kickstarter. And first reason is what's the best way to put it? To thank you, basically, for being a huge fan, being a part of our family, because by doing Kickstarter, we're able to save a lot of money in, for example, retail margins and things like that we can give back to you and offer our product at a much reduced price. And I want to utilize this opportunity to utilize the Kickstarter platform to be able to do that. So that's reason 1. Reason number 2 is, once we do Kickstarter, and let's say just break some records, this is, again, the data that we can take back to our game companies and say, hey, give us your games. So I want to utilize this opportunity to also have collect the data that we need to go to our game companies earlier so that we can get these awesome games that you love. So those two are the reasons why we're doing Kickstarter. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Colin.
Okay, Jong, I just want to make sure that nobody sees what Mark wrote here. Don't tell his boss that he stepped away from his desk. So we'll try not to publish that anywhere. But
Mark, he may be in this meeting.
Yeah, exactly. So what we'll do here, Jong's gonna step away just for a couple of minutes, and I'm gonna do a really quick Kickstarter basics demo, and then after that, we're gonna show you a really cool video. So make sure you stick around through this Kickstarter part. Jong, I'll talk to you in a second, okay? All right. So here we go. So this is the initial first thing you want to do on Tuesday, starting at 11 a.m. is go to Kickstarter.com. So that's your first step, is just type in Kickstarter.com in your browser. And the first step is to set up an account quickly. Really easy. It's just like any other account. There's a little login sign up button in the top right corner. Put in your name, your email, and a password. And I just have to re-enter this password here and make sure I get it in there twice. And then create account, which is the green button at the bottom. Oh, that form expired because I'd already done it a couple of times. So let's just do it quickly here. I just wanted to show you how to add your payment information. See if we can do this fast enough to keep it interesting. Please enjoy the comments while I copy and paste my email into this, or a email, I should say. Okay, here we go. And hopefully you can see this. It might be a bit small for those of you on smartphones. Create account. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we now have a Kickstarter account created, and a lot of people have been asking, how do I, because the first limited number of iiRcades are at a heavy discount, $299. The regular retail later would be $599. So you want to have your account ready before the Kickstarter campaign launches at 11 a.m. ET on Tuesday. So what you do is you get to the main page. Once you have your account, click this little globe over on the far right of the screen and scroll down to settings. I'm sure you'll be able to figure this out, guys, on your own. And then this is the key point here. Settings, there's two things you need to fill out in order to be able to complete a Kickstarter purchase. One of them is the payment methods. So you click one of the middle tabs there, payment methods, and you enter your card number and your information. And the other thing that's really important for Kickstarter is your shipping address. Because historically, if people don't put in their shipping address, it's a little harder to get the product. So make sure you put your shipping address in here. And then at the end of the campaign, the very last day of the campaign, there will be an email you receive from Jong and from the iiRcade team. And that will ask you to confirm your address. So your shipping address is critical, and then you're all set. Then you're lined up to get the product. So just make sure you do payment methods and shipping address ahead of time here if you want to get in on the super early bird specials right off the launch of the Kickstarter. I'm just going to show you what a Kickstarter page looks like quickly. We're going to do a search. I would normally type in iiRcade here, but the campaign's not live. So we're just going to type in robot vacuum, which is kind of a cool campaign I spotted. See if that comes up. There we go. Okay. So you can search for anything, and that's how you're going to find iiRcade. You're going to go to the search bar and type in iiRcade. So go to Kickstarter.com and then type in iiRcade into the search bar, and it will take you to a campaign page like this. It'll be different because it won't be a robo vacuum, but this, like, you've got the headline of the campaign, a video that you can play to learn about the product. We're going to show you a preview of that coming up. The total amount raised. So this campaign's doing quite well. It's raised $188,000. And then you'll always see a back this project button throughout the page. So this one is a green button. They're always green. And if you scroll down on the right side, and again, I apologize if it's hard to see on your small smartphones, you'll see what are called pledge levels. And this is where you can scroll through and decide what you want to purchase if you are going to back the iiRcade campaign page. So here is a $399 early bird special to purchase the robot vacuum, and you would click on that and then click select this reward, and it will go through the steps to help you purchase that. I'm just going to bring Jong back in here and ask if there's anything else we want to cover on the. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Jong, anything else you want to cover on the Kickstarter front for that quick demo?
I think that was good. So here, once you click the back, I forgot the name of the back this project. Thank you.
Yeah, back this project or pledge. Yeah, back this project
yeah.
is the green button.
Yeah, I'm getting old. If you press press that, then you'll be able to quickly back. So my recommendation would be if you can create the account and set it up earlier, so that when the time comes, all you have to do is press that green button. And I think that would be like the quickest way to do it. Yeah,
and this is what it looks like, Jong. After you press that green button, it shows you all of the rewards or pledge levels again. So here's the early bird $3.99, and below that $4.29. I picked this campaign because it's kind of similar to how Jong's how the iiRcade pledges will look. They will get higher as the limited offers expire. So this one gets much more expensive later in the campaign. So it is important to try to get in there early if you can. And although all the Kickstarter prices will still be below retail, so it's not life or death, but it certainly would help as far as getting a good deal. So is that okay for Kickstarter, Jong? I can take the page off, I guess.
Yes.
Actually, the one main thing, just aside from all that how to log in stuff, which you guys are all, I'm sure, really well versed at, being techie guys and gamers. The main thing is go to Kickstarter.com and type in the search bar iiRcade, and that's really what you need to remember to get to it. It's a lot easier to do it that way than us trying to share the Kickstarter URL with you. It's a pretty complex one, usually with a lot of digits at the end. So that's really the most important thing. All right, so we'll remove the Kickstarter from our routine here, and maybe we'll add Jong, I'm going to bring the slideshow back up. We'll see what's coming up next here.
Sounds good. Next one is a very exciting one because it's something that everybody here has gone through together with us, right? And that is our Kickstarter video preview. Right, since day one, right? If you remember when we were talking about how we were creating scripts and things like that, and then we're filming and we got into the middle of the riot and things like that. Now it finally happened. The final version of the video is not 100% ready yet. We're still going through the edits, but we have a preview. We prepared this so that we can show it to you today. This is a byproduct of what we went through together. So I really hope you enjoy it.
Okay, Jong. So I'll bring the video in shortly. And first, before that, I'm just going to take both of us out of here.
Yep.
And add the video. Remove myself, and we'll see you guys shortly.
If you could play all the modern games and classic games you love on a single device that takes you back in time. This is iiRcade, an upright gaming cabinet that combines retro gaming experiences with modern technology. From indie developers to major gaming studios, iiRcade puts the control in your hands and lets you experience gaming at home like never before. This is iiRcade.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
Hello, everyone. There we go.
That was a sort of a preview version, shorter version of the video. We will be getting the video ready in time when we launch the Kickstarter. So you'll be able to see the full version on Tuesday. But I hope you like the shorter version.
That was great, Jong.
Preview. Thank you.
Very, very cool. I kind of saw a bit of a Stranger Things vibe in that. Really cool, the sort of 80s retro, but also and the sound in that. You may not have heard it through the Facebook Live, but you really feel that bass in the opening things. So very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And Jong, someone asked me one of these astute fans here, Patrick Walton, great guy, but he asked me for the last 3 numbers on the back of my credit card. So I'll post that shortly, Patrick, after that Kickstarter demo. So yeah.
Guess why I requested for the iiRcade.rocks sign up. We'll send you Colin's credit card information.
Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff, though. Yeah, you did a great job on that video. The whole team. You should see. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Basecamp. I'm sure you are. It's a collaboration tool for big teams to talk together. But the list of names that you have working for you, Jong, I mean, it's getting longer and longer. It's a big team. It's a significant team. Some were dedicated to just the video and the design of the page, and others for other projects. But it's really impressive to see everyone working together.
Thank you. We do have a very strong team. I think more than the number, I think it's the people, which is most important. And I strongly believe we have a very strong people who are, most important thing is, who are very passionate about what we're doing and gaming in general, working together with us. And that's one of the reasons why we're able to get these great products and quality products and things like that. Our team who made this video has extremely huge passion about our project. They're all gamers and professionals who do like Marvel projects and things like that, right? They really wanted to. They really wanted to do our project, and I think they did a fantastic job. So I have nothing to do with it. It was all them. They deserve all the credit, and they have done a fantastic job. So, and
that's just a sneak peek preview. The actual video is super cool. Similar theme, but similar vibe to it, but a little bit longer and very cool to see. So, hey, Jong, are you impressed with Eric Lazaga here on the in the comments?
Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So happy.
So, Jong, yeah, this next. Do you want me to stick around just for a second on this next one? Sure. It's about the regions that are supported. Absolutely. And I'm guessing the majority of our followers and people on this Facebook Live are in North America, but not necessarily. So maybe you can just review where the game will be available in this initial Kickstarter rollout.
Sure, absolutely. So thank you so much for that. So we are supporting 3 regions for our Kickstarter: North America, South America, and South Korea. One of the reasons for these regions is that the entire setup is set up around these regions, and that's why, like, for example, if we want to ship our product and things like that, right? Our fulfillment center, our warehouses will be in California, etc. So and there are other things as well, but we're very optimized for these 3 regions. So that's why we're supporting these regions initially. South Korea, because our factory is in South Korea. But other regions, my sincere apologies. We're going to try very hard to get to your regions as soon as we can. Initially, we are targeting these 3 regions. So, and the other thing is, for our initial product, we only have English language. But very soon we'll work on getting multiple languages supported as well. So and we'll get those to you to your devices via software updates.
Okay, great, Jong. Next slide.
Yep, thank you.
And maybe I'll step out here because I think I'm a little too big for people to be able to see this important slide. And Jeff Rainwater also asked for my credit card number. I'll get in touch with everyone after this. Okay, Jeff. I'll step away here for a second.
Yeah, Jeff, give me the information as well, please. I think this is the information that a lot of people were looking for. So, so they want when we start our Kickstarter, these will be the pledge info. We will have 6 levels, 1 set of 3 for bar top, 1 set of 3 for the bundle. So initially, we were looking into doing the bar top only, but we got a lot of requests for the bundle, so we created a bundle with significantly reduced prices here as well. So, so first 3 tiers for bar top will be $299, $349, $399, and of course, just as with any other Kickstarters, the quantity will be limited, but we're trying to make sure that that limited quantity is as big as we can make it, big as possible. So I want to make sure that, especially everybody here, we want to be able to accommodate. And then the bundles will be reduced version with the reduced price version of the stand as well. So it'll start at $399, and then $449 and $499 for the bundles. And later on, we'll be announcing higher tier later on, but for day one, especially for our crowd, we want to make sure that we have you covered. So we won't be doing that on day one. So we want to, again, make sure that we accommodate everybody here with the right prices. The other thing is that the first 100 units that we ship out, we want these to be like known as the, what's the best way to do it? Best way to say it? The collectibles, right? So I'll be signing personally for these first 100 units. And if it's signed, you're getting the very first 100 units of iiRcade ever produced historically. So we're going to make sure to communicate that with you. Again, first 100 units will be signed by me so that we can note that these are the first 100 units ever produced. If you have any questions here, let us know. Next slide, please. By the way, talking about the quantity, this is one of the big reasons why we created iiRcade.rocks. So if you can be sure to sign up there, then I'll be sure to sending you more information through that email. So thank you so much again for that. Shipment date. There are also a lot of questions regarding, okay, we sign up for Kickstarter, it's done. When are we getting the units? Which is an amazing question. So our current, from quote unquote schedule perspective, we are currently planned to ship out in October. And we're right now discussing to see what that each shipment's quantity is. We're trying to increase it, and that also requires factory capacity increasing and also our parts purchases increasing and things like that. So that conversation is still going on, but we know that right now our target is to ship bi-weekly from October. So we're trying to make it so that from finish of Kickstarter and the day when you're getting the units is as minimized as possible. If we can go to the next slide. Now, there's also always a caveat, right? And the caveat is something that we have not foreseen. So just in case if there's any delay, there right now, 3 things that we see that can potentially cause a delay. First is Fcc certification, where government gives us the go, right? And we have done a lot of FCC. So this Fcc certification is testing, right? Make sure that it's safe to use, things like that. Make sure there's no radiation. It's not gonna blow up. But joking aside, we have gone through these testing very diligently during our development cycle. And we're pretty confident that we can pass this, but just in case, right, if we go through a cycle, they find issues, then we have to fix the issues and resubmit for approval and things like that. They can potentially take time. So if something happens with a big IF, this can potentially delay the time. But right now, we're not foreseeing it. But if there is, we'll let you know. Second is...
And John, just what you said there, I've been working with Kickstarter campaigns since about 2013, and these kind of things are usually just kind of buried at the bottom of the page. It's called risks and challenges at the very bottom of every Kickstarter page. So I think it's great that you're sharing this in big bold print right up front, because that's pretty rare. So it's nice that you're just kind of being upfront about it compared to you typically just see it in the fine print at the bottom.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I didn't know that. I thought this was very important to communicate. I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what's going on. And right, just in case if something happens, then we'll definitely be communicating with you, letting you know ASAP. But just to go through the other 2 real quickly, the other is, of course, if we find any quality issues that we're not expecting, then of course we're going to fix it before we ship, right? But hopefully this won't happen, and we're not foreseeing it. Third one is something that we cannot control, which is Corona pandemic getting bigger. I hope not. Or if there's any political or global economic issues that can potentially prevent us from shipping and things like that. Hopefully not. But unless it's something like this, right now we are targeting October shipment. So, and if there's anything that happens, we'll let you know ASAP. So thank you so much for that.
Jong, and there are a lot of questions here about shipping, and those are great questions. And hopefully this page will help you answer those questions.
Thank you. I'll be very frank with you. Now, we try to do our homework on every single area, but shipping is one area that we are currently behind. And our operations manager is working very hard to get the information. But basically, what we're trying to do is to get the shipping price down as much as possible. So from a shipping perspective, so devices coming from our factory in Korea, and we're going to be paying for the shipment from Korea to our warehouse in LA. And we need your help in the domestic shipping prices. But here we're talking to the shipping companies, and we're negotiating, and we're going to try to make sure that we get this down as much as possible. And the information on this, final information on this, will not be available until the day before we ship, because we're going to be negotiating to death until day before ship, right? To try to get the best
Jong,
as possible.
I wouldn't say behind. I would say you're basically just going to keep working perpetually to get the best rates possible, because you could ship today if you had the stuff in house.
Absolutely.
And probably the key differentiator, the most important thing, is that your bulk shipping and container shipping over from Korea to the US. So they'll be in the country, so it's just domestic shipping. So the logistics team is negotiating the lowest possible shipping fees, and you'll just keep doing that, right? Until, I think, actually, you may know better than I would, Jong. Will you get better rates with higher numbers, of course, higher volume as the campaign succeeds?
That's potentially another thing as well. So we're talking to like different 3PLs, the people who are doing the warehousing and shipping and things like that. They have a lot of deals. We're also looking for our deals as well. The other thing that we're looking right now is, right, if we do the wait for the device with the packaging, then we're at about I'm trying to remember the number. One of the top was, I think, was like 46 pounds, and then the stand was around 51 pounds. And one thing that we're finding out is if the weight is below 50 pounds, then the price becomes significantly cheaper. So we're trying to reduce the weight for the packaging on the stand, while, of course, maintaining the quality of the packaging as well. So we're working on that right now. So we're trying to think outside the box, things like that, so that reduce the weight of packaging. We're working with 3PLs. We're trying to negotiate with the shipping companies to try to cut down this as much as possible. And again, we're going to be doing this until the day before ship. And we're definitely going to be keeping you updated on the information. So,
okay, John. And we've got John Adams here, who is in logistics. So if you have any questions,
nice.
John, for John Adams may be able to add some additional expertise to the logistics team.
Hey, John, maybe I need to talk to you.
and I don't think you want to mention exact shipping numbers, but we've kind of talked about it because we don't know yet, because it's going to get cheaper, but it's actually quite reasonable. It's in the country, so you'll see that there will be a base price listed for shipping, which is probably going to go lower. Like when you're back in the campaign, it'll say a shipping price, and it's quite reasonable. It's not a big number. So, but it's great that you share that, Jong, nonetheless. Yeah.
Thank you. Lower the better. So we're going to keep on.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And let's move along here. Back to launch day here.
Yes. So what happens on launch day, June 23rd, 11 a.m. EST? We're going to do a Kickstarter live so that we can enjoy and celebrate this moment together with you. We're going to be starting our Facebook Live, starting 30 minutes before our Kickstarter start, which also means, right, for example, the Kickstarter link becomes available, I believe, as soon as we click the begin button. Then as soon as we have the link, we can share that with you immediately, right? And so there's going to be some really good benefits like that if you're able to join our Facebook Live. So we're going to be doing that, and we want to again celebrate this with you together. So that was the purpose of this slide.
Okay.
And then next one, of course, again, iiRcade that rocks. Again, I think I'm stressing this too much, but this is because I want to send you the information that I really want to communicate with our Facebook Live family. So if you can make sure to sign up there, then I'll be sure to send you the information. Again, I may be closing this list maybe after today or something like that. So if you can sign up quickly, that would be great. Next slide, please.
So Jason Dedman says, that's correct. You're right, Jason. That is totally accurate.
Only the morning, though. Only the morning.
Only the morning? Okay. But you have to celebrate in the afternoon. After you get your iiRcade, you can't go back to work. You're going to be too excited after that.
That's true. Maybe we'll do a virtual drinking session together or something like that.
Non-alcoholic. Adult beverages.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
All right.
Next slide, please.
Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah, with the Facebook Live, just a little bookkeeping or administrative thing here. Jong, you want to mention what's up with this?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got some contacts about the iiRcade rocks. Sometimes doesn't work. I think this happens especially, for example, if you use Microsoft Edge. If you try to go here, you get this message that says this site is not secure, and you don't see the page. And the site that we're using for this is called MailChimp, which is actually very reputable. So they're safe. So if you get this message, if you click on details and then click on go onto the web page, then you'll be able to get there and sign up. Again, iiRcade.rocks. And if you have any issues here, please do send us a message and let us know, and we'll get back to you ASAP. Okay, next one we want to talk about is the pre-launch list, quote unquote, and this is what some people call the final or the full list or the final list. And this is also the list that I keep on stressing that this is not the final list or the full list. It's a start list and start list of a snapshot that we're currently in right now. This list we are going to be again making available on our homepage, iiRcade.com, after this session, and we'll try to get it up as soon as we can. If we go to the next slide, I just want to give you a quick statistics of the games that make up this 170 games that we have so far. Right, as you can see here, it's very balanced, and we try to make this balanced on purpose because everybody has different set of favorite games, and we do cover these areas in what's the best way to put it, in a pretty balanced kind of way. As you can see here, we do have a lot of shooters, of course. We do have a lot of action, of course. We do have a lot of platform games, of course. And the other one is the arcade. And the reason is because, obviously, the type of games that were very popular back in the day in arcades were these 4 genres. And it's one of the big reasons why these 4 areas we have a lot of. And especially on the shooters, shooters is one of the categories that really defines arcade category, especially from back in the days too. But if overall we try to cover as many genres as possible, so that we can make sure that we have games for everybody, great games for everybody, and this contains both our favorite arcade games as well as the modern games with awesome graphics as well. And again, this is only a start. Right, ever since we had this game put together, we already got one more company signed up. Again, we'll talk about this after Kickstarter starts. But and we are continuously talking to a lot of companies, and especially again as we have more people joining our family, then we'll be able to talk to a lot more companies and so forth. So your help is helping us big time to get a lot more great games that we all love as well. So let's make this happen together. Otherwise, this is the list and breakdown of our list, of our pre-launch list as of right now.
Very good, Jong. It looks like we're going to have to start off from the top. Look at this comment that just came in. So
we should do another session. But one thing,
Okay.
one other thing that I forgot to mention is that right now we're at 170. At the time of launch, which means when you receive your units, we're expecting over 200 games. So that's the other one I wanted to mention as well.
Okay. Next steps, Jong.
Yes. Next steps is always important. On Sunday, Mr. P Dubs, he's probably here listening to me and looking at the slide. We have a session, special session that we're going to be doing together on Sunday at 11 a.m. PST. That's going to be very exciting. So hope to see you there. Next slide, please. P Dubs is an awesome guy. I love him to death. He's really entertaining, really informative. It'll be an awesome show. I'm very much looking forward to it. So that's Sunday. And here's the link, by the way, in the bottom. And then on Tuesday, right before our Kickstarter session starts, 30 minutes before, we're going to start our Facebook Live. So we can start this historical moment together with you and celebrate together with you. And then we're going to be starting our Kickstarter at 11 a.m. EST. Again, I'll mention for the last time, iiRcade.rocks if you can sign up. We'll do some communications there.
And if you want to copy and paste from the comments, you see the YouTube link in the comments for that Sunday session with P-Dubs. John, do you have some time for a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
All
right.
I'm always ready for questions. I love questions.
There was one earlier. Yeah, definitely. There was one earlier. I didn't. It scrolled beyond me now, but gentleman was asking if he could pick it up physically in LA. If he was in the location of the game, could he avoid shipping that way? By the way, shipping is really inexpensive. I don't want to give the price, but it's really low if you're in California. But
that's a great question. Thanks for that.
Let's see, Jong's.
I think we'll have to look into it. Let me talk to our 3PL and see if that's possible or not. Okay. Some 3PLs, I think they allow it. Some warehouses, they allow it. Some of them, they don't, especially from like a safety perspective, et cetera. So let me talk to them and see what I can find out.
Okay. Jong, you've disappeared here for some reason on my screen. Are you showing up on yours?
Oh,
I'll just check I can hear you, and I hope everyone else can. Let me just check Facebook Live and see if you're if you're still up there.
Okay. Yeah, I disappeared as well from.
Yeah, but I can hear you, so hopefully others can hear you too. Let's see.
Okay.
Let me know in the comments there if anyone can see everyone hear Jong? Because if you can hear him, that's probably cool. Let's see. Who can hear Jong? Just let me know in the comments there if you can hear him, and then we'll ask some questions if you can. Sure. He's gone, says someone.
I'm gone. Am I?
You're gone, but I don't know if your audio's gone. So that's my question is whether
I can try to re-log in.
Jump back in here. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just scroll up and look for a couple of questions here.
Okay.
One of the questions is, so will the shipping be more to the East Coast? Yes, it will be a little bit more. It's like shipping a package across the country. It's not dramatically a dramatically bigger number. I think the shipping stuff we mentioned was just full disclosure, but it's really, you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's really not big, and I've just been instructed not to share the exact number because we don't know. We're going to get it lower. So here's Jong back here.
Can you hear me?
He's back.
Nice.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
nice.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Not my hair day, so I was hoping that I cannot come back, but
and Jong,
hear my voice.
Someone was just asking about East Coast shipping. It will be a little more, but we're not going to give exact numbers right now. But it's just a little bit more, but not crazy.
Yeah, we're also looking at various different ways to reduce the prices as much as possible. So we'll work on it, right? For example, I don't know if having a separate warehouse in East Coast is possible or not. But we'll do some homework and we'll try to figure out and try to get the cheapest shipping cost for you as possible. Yeah.
There's a question for you, Jong. What do you think of that one? Can you see it on your screen?
Yeah. And on the trackball. Thank you so much for that. I think we got a lot of questions on that. And one great thing about iiRcade is that it's it's very customizable or configurable. So it's easy to do an add-on in the future. So if we need to, we can definitely do something in the future, and we'll definitely look into it, especially when the time makes sense, right? I mean, adding trackball costs money for everybody, right? So if we have, I need to do some counting, but I think we have more than 1 or 2 trackball games right now. But right, if we have more and it makes sense, then we'll definitely do it, and we will definitely keep you updated as well.
Okay. And how about this question, John? Will updates be pushed to the system, firmware and such,
Yes.
from
Absolutely.
James Bennett?
Absolutely,
Okay,
that's a great question. So it's not only going to be about bug fixes and things like that. And again, we're going to try to minimize bugs as much as possible on day one, but also new functionalities as well. So I want to make sure that the iiRcade system that you have is always kept fresh and is always new and always feels like it's new. So we're going to continue to deliver new functionalities for you as well. Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked, the questions are scrolling quickly, particularly on this program, so I'm just trying to catch up to them. But someone asked if there's anything they can do in advance of the Kickstarter to be ready for this. And we covered that a bit earlier on. The best thing you can do, just so that you're ready to get one of the super early bird specials, which is the $2.99 for the bar top and $3.99, or what is it for the full cabinet, John?
$3.99 start.
Yeah, $3.99. Just go to Kickstarter.com and register an account right now, or sign up and get an account, and that way you'll be ready to kind of hit the backer button the moment the campaign starts. And also go to sign up for the newsletter at iiRcade.rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else on that, John, on how to get prepped?
Yeah, thank you. So the other thing is, if you're able to join the Facebook Live session on 30 minutes before the start, then as soon as the link is available, we're going to post it up so that you can click it and just go for it right away.
Okay, yeah, that question was from Sean there. I just put it up there. See if we have any others. Great. By the way, we've covered, just for people who are maybe just tuning in, we've covered all of the recap of all the announcements. And the main thing is Tuesday is the Kickstarter launch starting at 11 a.m. ET, Tuesday, June 23rd. And just trying to find a few questions here. Here's one for you, Jong. Sunday P-Dub session, the timing on that. Let me just double check that.
11 a.m. PST.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I was just having a look myself. Okay, good. Any other questions, guys? I know you've asked some, and they just sort of scroll quickly here, so it's hard to capture them. Here's one. Will you have shooter games? Will you have future shooter games? Do you want to answer that part, John?
Will we have future shooter games?
Yeah, we have shooter games.
Oh, absolutely. We have a lot of shooter games. So if you like shooters, oh my God, you'll be impressed.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
And here's a good one. Will you take game recommendations?
Absolutely.
That's a great question.
Yeah, there is a great question. And one thing that we're doing is we're listening to you. And we have been listening to you. We tried our best to listen to you, and since day one. And we also implemented a lot of features. A lot of what you saw today and last Tuesday are based on your comments as well. And especially for games, I really want to hear from you. So please keep them coming, because we're listening to you. And the games that with a lot of demand and everything, we're going to go for them first.
Okay. And here's a question about Galaga. I'm sure lots of suggestions. So yeah, feel free to suggest any game, right, John?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'm finding that everybody has their different favorites, and Galaga is one of the games that have a lot of fans. Galaga is also one of the games that we require sales data for us to go to them and say, hey, can you give us the game? So it's definitely on our list to approach and get the game, especially your help in making Kickstarter very successful. I think it's like the fastest way for us to be able to get those games, because instead of waiting for the sales data, right, if we have a great Kickstarter success, and we can use that data to go to this company and get these games as soon as we can, hopefully even before we are able to ship out the devices too. Who knows? But if Kickstarter is really big, then it really helps us to be able to get those great games. So
Excellent.
let's make this happen together.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. And we've got earlier on in the Facebook Live, we talked about the number of subscribers. It's in the 20,000 range total. So there's a really big group of people that are excited about this launch. John, another question there for you: could older console games be included?
That's a great question as well. Older consoles, depending on, of course, which console and everything, we're looking for future. Again, if there's a lot of demand. Right now, we are focusing on our nostalgic arcade games and the modern games. But this is something that we can look into for future if there's enough demand.
All right. This is a good question here. It's just asking about possibility of gift cards for the game store to give as gifts.
That's a great,
I know a lot of, and it can be done, definitely. I know a lot of past Kickstarter campaigns, especially those that don't have as quick a delivery time, will do Christmas or holiday related gift cards where you can kind of purchase it in advance and still get the game. But yeah, I'm sure that's something you'll look at, Jong, this one, right? About the gift cards.
I totally agree with you. And this is a really good idea as well. In fact, this is on our list of things to do, and we'll try to make it happen as soon as we can.
And the Kickstarter campaigns are typically between 30 and 60 days, the initial Kickstarter campaign. This is a question about the length of the campaign. I think we'll be in that range as well, John.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks for asking this question. We're currently looking at 45 days, and we'll probably go until early August, I believe.
Yep, very good. Okay, that's a pretty good range. Yeah, that's excellent. External accessories, John, available in the future, dual pistols, shotguns.
Great question. Great question. Thanks for asking that. Anything is possible in the future. Right now, we are focused on launching the device with the best quality possible and best experience. And as soon as that happens, we have like a very long list of things that we want to do, because iiRcade is a very flexible platform where we can do a lot of things from both hardware and software perspective and game perspective and services perspective. There's so many things that we can do. And we have a long list to be able to do that one by one. So we'll keep you updated on this. But it's a great question.
And lots of other questions. Someone asking about Spy Hunter. It's hard to kind of predict these games because you're really talking. You've got some incredible guys on the team that have a lot of experience who are negotiating actively, hence Dragon's Lair and other big ones that have come in.
Yep, absolutely. We have a very strong licensing team, and you've met the person who's leading it up before in one of our Facebook Live sessions. I think Dragon's Lair, among other games as well, I think Dragon's Lair was able to show people that we're able to make this happen, because I got a lot of emails and things saying that, wow, how did you make this happen? So we have a lot of experience in the area, and we do have a lot of connections. So as soon as we're able to get this data that we can utilize to get these games, we're going to make this happen. So be excited.
Great, John. A question from Patrick Walton. Just prior to this question, he was also he was also mentioning when we were talking about shipping to not lessen the quality of the game in order to make a certain shipping level. And I can guarantee, or without even asking you, that you won't do that. But you'll definitely, like, if it costs a few more dollars to ship to get the full experience, obviously you won't do that. But here's a question from Patrick. Can you read that, John?
Yes, I can. This is a great question. So thanks for that. So it will be a assembly model, and there's several reasons why. So number one, if we make it one piece, then obviously the shipping cost jumps dramatically, right? But the other thing is also the quality level of shipment also goes down dramatically as well, because if it's assembled, there's like blank spaces in the middle, and if something drops, and it doesn't support as well on cracking and things like that, right? Potentially. So we instead of that, we made it like assembly model, but it's very easy to do. I know some people don't believe me when I say this, but I have a video proof that my 11-year-old did it in 12 minutes without any instructions. My folks, whom I worked with together at CES, when they were doing it for first time, with our instructions, they did it in about 20-25 minutes. It's very easy to do. The only thing you need is a screwdriver, and we only have 10 parts. So you just put it on, screw, put it on, screw, you're done. So it's very easy to do.
Good stuff, Jong. Does the arcade have a question here from Retro Collect? Does the arcade game have any twin stick games?
Oh, great question. I know that I know that you have also asked a similar question with Smash TV and others, and they were fantastic questions. Quite honestly, I gotta look into our games to see if we have any from arcade perspective. I'll look into it and let you know. But in the near future, this is one area that we want to push heavily as well. So we're going to be looking for those great arcade games with twin sticks also. So stay tuned.
Very good. And a question, it just scrolled past me here, but it was a question about shipping discount if you get the cabinet plus the bar top together in one shipment.
That's a great question as well.
Yeah. I think it would be cheaper than ordering them both separately. Obviously,
I hope so, and we'll certainly be talking to shippers about that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah. Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much. I'll just do a final scroll here, John. Do you want to just review the just that? I'll put this slide up here on the next steps just to do a final recap. We'll wrap this up before the top of the hour here.
Sure, sounds great.
Oh wow, that's okay. There we go. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. So Sunday, our special session with Mr. P-Dubs. That's going to be awesome. And Tuesday, 30 minutes before we start our Kickstarter campaign, we'll be doing our Facebook Live, and we'll be doing this together with you, which is very exciting for me. I'm looking forward to that. And then we'll launch this together, right? So that's what's happening on Tuesday, and then we go from there. But let's make this happen together. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, and one thing that will come up in the on the Kickstarter campaign, especially if you're a backer, if you joined in and backed at any level, you'll get regular updates. So there'll be updates telling you exactly what's happening, and that's always nice to see. And you can also read those updates if you're not a backer. You can scroll into the updates section on the home page, the Kickstarter page of iiRcade, to find out what's happening. Another question there, Jong, about the height of off the ground.
Oh.
The control
that's a
panel
question.
with the stand. Yeah.
Yeah, I this number I can't remember. I can let you know that. Yeah. I can let you know that from ground to the top, if you have a full configuration, that's 61 inches, 6'1". And then of course you have the adjustable feet at the bottom of the stand, so you can go a little bit higher if you want. The bar type is 24 inches, if I remember this correctly. So if you do some math, you can probably get some ideas. Or if you want, I can go measure it, but I don't see it. I was looking for a tape measure if I have it near me, so I can do this for you now, but I don't. Yeah, I don't see it near me. So
maybe we can add that to the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. But one thing that I can let you know is it's a very comfortable height for adults, and also kids are able to reach as well. And that was sort of done with a lot of trials.
For big adults, including the heavyweight boxer at the celebrity event, and
absolutely
a couple of wrestlers and other athletes, and
hey,
for those who are a little older, Alice Cooper loved this game as well. Alice Cooper, awesome rock legend, of course. He loved it, right?
He absolutely loved it. He's very much looking forward to it. We have Akon, who we met, and he loved it. We met about 200 different celebrities a day, every single one. Believe it or not, celebrities are huge gamers, and they will love it. Yeah.
This is I just put this comment up here, Jong, because you have a game that's kind of similar, and it's just the playability that's being preloaded, right? Do you want to do you want to comment on the game that's that kind of resembles this style?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, right before we started the session, I also saw this question from someone else as well. Same questions coming, and this is one of the games, like I said before, that I need to show the sales numbers, right? Before we can conclude getting the games, if you know what I mean. So this is one of the reasons why we're doing Kickstarter, so that we can get the number. If we're really hugely successful with Kickstarter, then I can use that number to go get these games. And this is one of the areas where we will also appreciate your help as well with referrals and things. then we can grow this and we can try to get this ASAP. Right now in the list that we have, I do know that we have some very similar games. Like for example, Twin Breath that we're preloading for you. It's very similar where you can play 2 players at the same time. And you can move walls and things like that. Very similar to, I think the game was Ladybug, right?
Yes, right. That's it. Right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. So we have games like this. And again, once we have these sales numbers, we're going to go really big, really big with licensing these awesome games that everybody loves. So stay tuned. Again, your help with making this happen, and I want to do this together with you, help with referrals and things will be extremely appreciated, so that we can make this happen and get these games for you ASAP.
All right, great stuff. Well, we're at the top of the hour, and Jong, I think you usually try to hop back in after the Facebook Live and answer some of the questions, right?
Yes. Normally I try my best to do the ASAP. My sincere apologies. Last one, it's been like really sleepless nights with too many things going on for Kickstarter and others. So I wasn't able to get to the last session one, and there were like 670 comments, I think, which was really I was pleasantly surprised, and I want to thank you so much again for that. And number was a little bit high for me to be able to get to it quickly. So I'll also have a look at this as well, but I may be a little delayed because of the fact that we're working very hard to get Kickstarter launched ASAP. So if I'm delayed, my sincere apologies, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, you'll love the comments. There's lots of great questions that have
nice.
Lots of good comments, and certainly you've got tons of suggestions for the games to pursue as the game grows beyond the 170 and keeps going up from there and beyond the preloads. So, Jong, congratulations on getting to this step, and looking forward to. Yeah, I think I might be on with you on the Tuesday, right? Just before for that half hour, we're going to do a kind of a pregame show. We won't go 7 or 8 hours like a Super Bowl pregame, but hey, this is as big as a Super Bowl, so we're going to condense all that excitement into a half hour. And hopefully if there are any questions about how to back the campaign, we'll stay on for the first half hour of the campaign too, and help you navigate Kickstarter if you haven't been there before. But the main thing is Kickstarter.com and search for iiRcade in the search window, and that will get you to where you need to go. Jong, great job this afternoon. Great talking to you. And
thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm so excited, and I just wanted to say thank you so much again for everybody. Okay, we couldn't have done this without you, and we're doing this together. And you guys are my family, and I want to make this into a success story where we can say we did it together as a family and as a team. So let's make this happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. So thank you so much again. Let's make history together. Thank you.
All right, let's do this. Thanks, Jong. Talk to everyone later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday.